I'd like to call the Muhlenberg Township Board of Commissioners meeting for Monday, August 18th, 2025 to order. All please rise for the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the States of America and to the republic which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Commissioner Morrissey, good evening. Just for a few minutes, there was an executive session held before the meeting discussed various personnel matters and litigation matters. Public presentation, just in order for time, before we get in the first public portion, we are gonna move item L since our friends from Mascara are here, that they, and I know we wanna talk, so we don't have to go through the new business where we don't open up comments, so I don't know, Pat, Sam would like to say a few words before we vote on that item.
Thank you. My name is Pat Mascaro. I've been the president of Mascaro, your trash collector, for the past 40-something years. We've had the pleasure and honor of working in the township here for about 25 years now. We're not perfect, but it's not for lack of effort. We were excited again to have the lowest responsible bid. It's no secret when we bid the last contract, it was right before COVID. COVID was very challenging for us. What we used to do in ordinarily 40-hour weeks took us 80-hour weeks, and quite frankly, we didn't get a penny from anybody, nor did we seek any money from anybody. The contracts do have uncontrollable circumstance provisions, they have force majeure. We didn't seek that from anybody. We know when the community makes a bid in the budget, they have to live by those numbers, and we did the best we can. On the new bid, respectfully, we're hoping that the township could consider award of a 7-year bid. You have the right to award the options at any time. Quite frankly, that would give us an opportunity to honor the first 2-year prices of the last bid, which you, looking at the numbers, you'll know they're extremely competitive, and it would give us an opportunity to refleet the trucks in the 3rd year, and that we could have a responsible contract consistent with the market. I can tell you that to us, the contract has always been a guideline. We always go beyond the terms and the conditions of the contract, and we've always attempted to be a friend in this community when anybody's ever reached out to us. I'm here this evening with Sam Augustine, 40-something years with Mascaro Upper Management, Al DeGenero, 37 years. I'll answer any question you have. I'll consider no question unfair. The only way I won't answer your question is if I don't know it. Thank you for the opportunity to speak.
Thank you, Pat. Did anyone have any questions before we make the motion?
Just want to thank you guys for all the stuff you do for the community from Muhlenberg
I want
Township.
to thank you. We make no mistake about it. We work for you.
Yeah, but
Okay, you don't work for us. We work for you.
you help out all the time.
Well, A, we can, and B, we should.
Thanks.
Any other comments? So then item L, thank you, Pat. Any motion to award bid option 1, a 5-year contract with 2 1-year extensions of the collection, transportation, and processing of municipal solid waste and recyclable materials to JP Mascaro and Sons.
Second.
Any questions or comments? No, my only comments will be, I appreciate, working with the Mascaro, they're very responsive for the amount of households that we pick up. And the complaints we get is so small, and when we do tend to have problems, you're the first ones to be here to help us, so I look forward to another, successful few years.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Noes if any, the ayes have it, so ordered. Thank you.
Thank you for the courtesy. Appreciate it.
All right, I'm gonna move on to the first public portion. It's time for residents or taxpayers of the township to comment on matters of concern, official actions, deliberations which may be before the Board of Commissioners. I think we have a few folks signed in. Harold Libby, 403 Spring Valley Road, regarding traffic. Mr. Libby, if you'd like to come up.
Yeah, sure.
I am Harold Levy from 403 Spring Valley Road. My concern is the persistent speeding drag racing and reckless driving on Spring Valley Road, the 400 block of Spring Valley Road. Majority of vehicles that travel west on Spring Valley Road, don't disregard the stop signs and just speed up through several bus stops that are up that way on the westbound lane. My request is that the township place some type of speed, mile per hour speed sign on the westbound lane in a 400 block of Spring Valley Road, and some type of school bus stop ahead signage, because there are several school bus stops ahead on that road also. And I'd just like to remind that people, that would remind the drivers to drive like their children or grandchildren live here. So, yeah, that's all I got. Thank you. You're welcome, Commissioner.
If I can just say a couple words.
Sure.
On that. I mean, this is just Spring Valley Road.
Yes,
I mean, if you look all over the county, you know, people are driving, they have their automobiles sounding like going 20 miles an hour, but they only are going 40, 50. But it's happening all over. I had 25-mile-an-hour speed limit signs put on the avenue. They're going 45, 50. So what there needs to be is some type of legal deterrent there. Because people just are driving, maybe they're late for work or whatever, but they're driving like really crazy. And it's not just on Spring Valley Road, it's all over.
yeah, I understand that. Yeah, and I know a lot of the times with school bus right around the corner, school opening soon, it should be of a concern. So, yeah, thank you for your time. I know there was a speed study done several months ago in Muhlenberg. I'm not sure what the results of that was. You guys have any information on that, but thanks again. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Chief Hoover and I had some conversations about traffic in the township, and I know the officers have been asked to step up enforcement throughout the township, but it is, to Commissioner Holder's point, it is everywhere.
It is, I understand that,
And
yeah.
I don't
They got,
understand.
they got
why,
full
but-
plate, I understand.
But Chief, maybe we can take a look specifically.
I thank you.
At that particular block. And about the signage for, bus stop ahead.
Jeremy, you're taking a look at that?
The school bus sign.
Yeah.
Yeah, going westbound in 400 block, there is no speed limit sign or school bus stop ahead sign. There are several stops on.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Sure.
So I have a quick question.
Yes, sir.
Is there a particular time of day? Is it more mornings, afternoons, or both, or
Both,
both?
yeah. There's really no specific time of day, usually maybe, after midnight, 2 o'clock in the morning, here in race up on Route 12. They're either in low gear going 100 miles an hour or whatever. It just, I don't understand, you guys have a plate full. So I appreciate you do the best you can. Thank you for your service.
My pleasure.
Thank you. You're welcome.
Thank you. Next we have Brandy DeLong. 2125 Elizabeth Avenue.
How are you?
Good, how are you?
So, I work at the Laureldale, Skilled Nursing and Rehab, and that's the address that I provided there. So, we wanted to make our building a little bit more aware in the community. So we are gonna be having a fall festival, first weekend in October. And we wanna help promote that. So we were hoping that with your help, we could get that kind of communicated throughout the borough and the township. And we're also doing a thank you lunch for first responders on September 11th at our facility. So, we're doing light refreshments and food that day from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. at our facility. It's open to everybody. So first responders, we thank you for your service, and if they would like to come out, we'd like to be able to promote that. So if there's an email address,
Sure, can you get us those electronically?
absolutely.
And we can post them on our website, do what we can do to get it out to.
I appreciate that.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Okay, next, I think it's Michael.
Hi, I'm Michael Rolone. I live at 145 Spring Valley Road. You might remember I was here at this meeting about 2 months ago about some codes issues. First of all, I want to thank the codes department for acting swiftly on that. They came in, inspected, found quite a few violations on the property, including violations outside of my unit and they ordered correction and all that. I do have some questions about that process, but I mostly just want to thank you guys. But I also am here to inform you guys that, alongside of, deciding to come to that meeting last month, I also filed a complaint with the Attorney General's Office of Consumer Protection concerning some other issues with that and those maintenance issues. After those corrections were ordered and they were enforced, by the township, the landlord unfortunately decided to retaliate with a notice to vacate the property. I am going to unfortunately have to fight all that in court and all that. But I wanted to make you guys aware that, that notice to vacate came the exact same day they replied to the Attorney General's office. And in that reply, which I have if anyone wants to see, they completely undermined your guys' enforcement, stated that all these corrections were voluntary on their end and that, they did so all at their cost, which is also untrue because I completed some of the repairs myself. Not expecting compensation, but without compensation, which would make that an untrue claim. And I mostly just wanted to thank you guys and make you guys aware that this landlord in your township is actively lying about your enforcement to state investigators. That's on the record, that's here, and I will be defending those claims in court in about 10 days. So if anyone would like to follow up on that, I encourage it. Have tons of documentation. I've even filed preliminary injunctions in complete court trying to get ahead of this. Extensive documentation. I've really encouraged somebody to follow up on this because I also have questions about codes. If I'm not mistaken, the township adopted as a standard the International Property Maintenance Code, the 2018 revision, right?
That's right.
Correct, right. Well, during that inspection, the common areas and stairwells, they were completely out with electricity and already at that point had been at 3 weeks. The inspector told me that it has nothing to do with them, that it's all the electric company, which in turn forced me to open up a complaint with the Public Utilities Commission, which is now a formal complaint with hearings. All based on this confusion of this shared metering configuration that's going on in the property. Now, I think they should have enforced that. I think that was incorrect in stating that it had nothing to do with them, as in that International Property Maintenance Code, it makes very clear that common areas and stairwells are to be lit at all times. Again, I'm not here to criticize you, that's just more complications, little things, but it has complicated things in the grand scheme of things and made it difficult. So any follow-up with that would be greatly appreciated. That's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else wish to speak under the first public portion?
We can have any from the library, she is.
Lydia, go right ahead.
Okay, Linda Roebuck from the Muhlenberg Library. First of all, had I realized that was Mr. Mascaro, I would have thanked him personally. They have been extremely generous over the years to the library. With monetary donations. The other thing is, we did find a new director who will start this coming Monday. Her name is Gabrielle Ulmer. She's a little bit older. She has a corporate background with a lot of HR experience. And then she left the corporate world, went back to college, got her master's in library science. So I think she's gonna bring a little bit of wisdom, a little bit of everything that should work out. The other question I have, do you have a date yet for the budget meeting in October?
Preliminary, it's the same day as your fall festival.
I know, it usually is, that's why I'm
Yeah.
trying to figure that
That's
out.
the only day that probably works, but we're throwing around that date, on the
Okay.
18th, yeah.
It's not a problem, we'll manage to work it out, I was just curious.
Yeah,
Alrighty, thank you.
you got it. Thank you again, Linda, and glad to see you got. All right, okay. Anybody else? All right, we'll move on to the consent agenda. I need a motion to approve the consent agenda.
Motion. Second.
Any questions or comments?
Yeah, a comment on the police report, kind of ties into the conversation we just had with Mr. Whitey. I did notice, Chief, that there were a lot of notations in the report about traffic stops that led to additional findings and additional charges. So it's nice to see our officers are out on the road and making those kind of stops, and that we are starting to send some messages out to the public that, you know, we take our laws very seriously here, so. Thank you for all the work the officers do.
Thank you. Commissioner, any further questions or comments? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Noes, if any, the ayes have it, so ordered. Any unfinished business? Seeing none, we'll move on to new business. I need a motion to approve payment of bills presented by the Director of Finance and Customer Service.
Motion. Second.
Questions or comments? All those in favor signify by saying aye. Those, if any, the ayes have it, so ordered. A motion to reaffirm approval of the Seven Brews Land Development Plan condition in SDE's last review letter dated May 13, 2024.
So moved.
Second.
Questions or comments? All those in favor signify by saying aye. Those, if any, the ayes have it, so ordered. A motion to approve payment application number 1, Empire Services for the work completed on the Laurel Road Park project in the amount of $145,352.38.
Second.
Questions or comments? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those, if any, the ayes have it, so ordered. Motion to adopt ordinance 626, amending of the police pension ordinance.
Make a motion.
I'll second.
Any questions or comments? All those in favor signify by saying aye. Those, if any, the ayes have it, so ordered. Motion to authorize myself of the board to execute an MOU with the MTPLO acknowledging the prior police service pension buyback revisions to the pension ordinance.
Move. Second.
Any questions or comments? I'd butcher explaining all of it. If you'd like to read it or copy of it, we'd be happy to give it to you. You know, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Those, if any, the ayes have it, so ordered. Motion to authorize the solicitor to advertise that the October 20th, 2025 Board of Commissioners meeting will be held at the Muhlenberg Township Fire Department headquarters on 4963 Cookstown Road.
Good motion.
Second. Questions or comments? All those in favor signify by saying aye. Those, if any, the ayes have it, so ordered. A motion to authorize the township manager to apply for LSA funding to replace the Hillcrest Road culvert.
I'll move.
I'll second.
Jim, just a quick one.
Yep, so this is the third piece of the puzzle, the system design identified in the flood mitigation report that they provided after the July 2023 flooding event. We've got 2 grant applications in for the first 2 projects, which are further downstream on the Laurel Run Creek.
Thank you. Any further questions or comments?
Just like to comment that, you know, we've talked a lot over the last couple of years about the flooding that took place and the efforts that the township has been taking to mitigate ongoing flooding. And again, to be crystal clear, you know, there's nothing that any of us can do to totally 100% prevent flooding. But the steps that we have been taking, I think, shows that we have been moving in the right direction. You know, we haven't had a storm of that magnitude, but we have had some pretty significant rains, but we have had some pretty significant rains, this summer, back to back, and, so far, things seem to be holding, so, it's nice to see us making this kind of progress.
And kudos to Public Works, that the work that they've performed, cleaning debris from the creek, even from bridges that we do not own or maintain, because other entities were not getting to them in a timely fashion, so there's a lot that's going to do.
Thank you. Commissioner, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Those, if any, the ayes have it, so ordered. A motion to approve a $1,000 sponsorship to Burke's, Crime Alert Burke's.
Make a motion.
Questions or comments? The only comment I will make, you know, $1,000 to Crime Alert, I just noticed this reading through the First Class Township Code that we actually have that ability to do that ourselves as First Class Township, aren't we, First Kelsey, that? But, because I had that question before, but that's how important Crime Alert Burke's is, and the administration they provide, because we cannot do it on our own for $1,000. All the services they help with our police officers, the chief, so I just wanted to make that point that we couldn't go out and do that on our own, but we have such a great organization there, so we should continue to support it. No, sorry, I did that.
Thank you.
Any further questions or comments? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those if any, the ayes have it, so ordered. A motion to approve various job descriptions as presented by the township manager.
Move.
Second.
Any questions or comments?
Just make a comment that I enjoy going through all of those job descriptions and seeing what all you guys do. And it was very educational for me, and thank you. And I did touch base with some supervisors and said, is this what you do? And they said yes.
Thank you, Commissioner. Any further questions or comments? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those if any, the ayes have it, so ordered. Motion to authorize the township manager to execute the second addendum to the site access agreement with ExxonMobil Oil for access to monitoring wells on township property.
Make a motion.
Second.
Questions or comments?
This is a provision to a long-standing agreement. When the Exxon tank farm existed on 61, when they closed that up, they had to install monitoring wells around the property, around their property. Several of them are on our township-owned property within the Reading Crest Ave brush site. They're also proposing a few more in the public right-of-way within the streets. So that's the second addendum. It includes those additional wells.
Thank you, Jim. Any further questions or comments? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those if any, the ayes have it, so ordered. A motion to authorize the solicitor to advertise an amendment to the traffic regulation ordinance.
So moved.
Second.
Can we talk about this?
We can, so there's a couple of traffic movements that we're looking at revising and updating. With the Bellevue Avenue Bridge construction and replacement project coming online in 2026. We're looking specifically at the movement from Water Street westbound to Route 61 southbound. And looking at limiting the left turns from Water Street onto 61. We're also looking at the traffic movements right here at George and Fifth. So from George eastbound onto Fifth Street southbound. This traffic signal pole was replaced in March or April of this year, and within 2 weeks was struck by a tractor trailer again. And as Dawn probably hears it I know that she hears it every single time because it sounds like thunder when it happens. But we're also looking at restricting truck movements from this intersection onto Fifth Street South. That will force the trucks on the belt line and then to Madison, where there's a signalized intersection, and there's already truck traffic moving from Landis Trucking.
Thank you, and I don't know if some of the folks who come here know, and I've heard that in 2026, the plan is to close Bellevue Avenue Bridge, which is going to create, we're going to try to do things to educate the public before that happens, so regular residents get in the mindset of the detour, the back way to go, but we know it's gonna be a long couple months, so, well, thank you, Jim. Any further questions or comments?
And to be clear, this is PennDOT project. This is being driven by PennDOT. That bridge is in severe need of replacement. But PennDOT has been communicating with us. There have been a couple meetings. And I know that it's discussed publicly at the Reading area transportation study meetings. So we're gonna do our best to make sure communication stays out there, but I think we all acknowledge it's gonna be a major headache. But it has to be done.
Thank you, Commissioner. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Those if any, the ayes have it, so ordered. Already. A motion for L1N, motion to authorize the chief of police to exchange the department's current firearms for new units from Markel Law Enforcement Supply Company at no cost.
So moved.
Second.
Questions or comments?
I'll comment, Chief can even comment more. There has been a model of firearm Signa, if I can say that correctly, that has had issues nationwide. We have not experienced the firing issues in the township. But the chief has done an in-depth study of the firearms, and you know, we think it is in our best interest, before there might possibly be an incident, we could have them replace these firearms where we are still able to do so at no cost. In a nutshell.
Thank you, Commissioner. Any further questions or comments? All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Those if any, the ayes have it, so ordered. Motion to authorize the chief of police purchase new sites for the department duty weapons from Markel Law Enforcement Supply Company in the amount of $10,644.55.
So moved.
Questions or comments? All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Those if any, the ayes have it, so ordered. Motion to authorize the chief of police and the township manager to execute an agreement with the Muhlenberg School District to participate in the bus control stop arm signal enforcement program.
So
I'll second.
Questions or comments?
I had some concerns that I spoke to the chief about, and he took my fears away from that, and it was coming down to, the cost. The township would receive $25, which if this matter came to the Department of DJ, you'd be losing money out of the deal. But chief, maybe you want to explain, this is more of a civil action, and we're basically going to look at, photos and make sure what's happening is actually, illegal, and push it down the road, and then basically it's going to be a citation given through the mail, no DJ. So we will have to be reporting our officers for court.
correct.
Yeah, and, you know, there was just an article, he was in the Reading Eagle for FMC anyway, regarding the number of times someone is passing a school bus that has, red signals activated and a stop sign out and the arms out. I mean, it's scary. It is just downright scary to think that somebody would think that whatever they need to get to is so important that they're gonna pass a school bus. So, hopefully, again, this just enforces that, that kind of step up in traffic enforcement, that we take it seriously, especially when kids lie to us, it's unbelievable.
And it is a $300 fine.
Does BCIU have any kind of cameras there? There's no school buses have that now.
Well, most of the buses have internal cameras, but this third-party vendor, bus control, is working with BCIU. They're gonna be installing outside cameras in all buses to capture these violations.
That's good.
So BCIU is actually the entity that approached us regarding this program.
That's good. Yeah, we have a picture of the car.
And video.
Yeah, that's good.
And the nice part about it is bus patrol handles basically all the paperwork. Our involvement is just verifying the violation. That's it.
Thank you, chief. Any further questions or comments? All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Those if any, the ayes have it, so ordered. Any other new business? Order. No, seeing none, anyone wish to speak under the second public portion? No. Staff comments. Mr. Dunkel.
Just want to thank all the residents for calling and utilizing the app. It's been a really busy year for codes. I also want to thank everybody calling me directly in the past, past summertime, for all the illegal work that we fought, or they fought, by giving it to our officers, speaking with me or my staff directly there. So it's a huge benefit to have people calling to notice construction without permits at residences and multi-units and things of that nature. Is a huge help. So yeah, kudos to anybody that calls in, utilize the app. It's a great feature. Thank you.
Thanks, Steve. Johnson.
Next issue of the Township Magazine should be out in less than 2 weeks, so look for that in your mailbox. It's gonna have all of our upcoming programs and pertinent township information.
Jeremy.
I'm happy to finally report that Mount Laurel Road is back open. PennDOT decided to replace the pipes. It's been a little bit long time coming, but it's back open. And see you at Riverfest this weekend.
Thank you, Jeremy. Melvin. All right, Joey, anything back there on the ambulance? All right, there you go. Chief.
I actually have a few things. I wanted to publicly recognize the hard work of Sergeant Sawyer and all the SROs for National Night Out. It was a well-attended event. Obviously, the vendors that support us, the board, Especially the ones that actually came out and helped with some of the events. The success couldn't have been possible without all of you, so I appreciate it. We just did written testing and physical agility testing earlier in the month. We have 16 people on the list. Our oral boards start at the end of this week. And then backgrounds right after, hopefully to get 3 people to work by the end of the year. I wanted to also thank Commissioner Hoffmaster for his help in supporting the department for the department's night out at the Reading Phillies. As everybody said, school's gonna be starting soon, so obviously kids are gonna be lucky, buses are gonna be out, keep that in mind. And I also want to take a personal moment to thank the township manager, several of the commissioners and Muhlenberg Ambulance for their support during a serious medical emergency that my family experienced while I was on vacation. Thank you, it's greatly appreciated.
Just touching on 2 things, another busy month, July, we had 198 calls for service. Light police, we're also working through our hiring process, over the next month or so, we're completing physical agility, with the hopes to have a 4th grade firefighter on by the end of the year.
Thank you, James.
Thorland Park construction is ongoing. The new driveway, or I'm sorry, new parking lot is complete, and they're working through the pickleball courts now. Pickleball courts at 401 Darby Avenue are resurfaced and waiting for color coding nets and posts.
That's gonna be the Wednesday.
And we have a planning commission meeting on Wednesday to discuss an apartment project on North 13th Street with a 32-page review letter.
That's all you got?
That's all I got.
All right, Commissioner Hoffmaster, you're up first.
Yeah, just one. Good night out, a pretty good night over there. Commissioner Steve and the Lurch and Bill did a great job over the job they were doing over there. Appreciate that. So Lurch was in that dunk tank. I just want to thank the zoning department. Like Jim was talking about 61 and Water Street, we go out that, what's that grade shot there? Water Street, that place building that had 3 big trees. I called Steve up. A day later, he's cutting trees down there. Then we go out in 61, and where trees won't be able to see the trees no more. Breaks heading on 61, cut them back and cut the trees down. Mr. Number did a great job. Appreciate that. Thank you.
Hey, Commissioner Wolfinger.
Riverfest Friday, Saturday, Sunday, the weather's gonna be great, please come out. And support, have fun, it's gonna be a great event. As most of you guys know, this is my last year as your commissioner. And I'm gonna miss a lot of things as being a commissioner, working with this board and the staff, making friends. And I plan to keep those friends, and I'm no longer a commissioner. But one thing I'm going to miss, and that is reading the police chief's monthly report. To echo what Commissioner Lurch just said, I mean, his report comes out to the board, and we see what's going on legally in the township, and it's very educational. And I love reading the platoon sergeants report on what their guys, in case what their gal is doing. And specifically listing different situations which are very dangerous and Sergeant Travis, Sergeant Munez, this one's just showed the pride that they take in leading their platoon. And they do a great job. And the chief, you do a great job bringing us into the 21st century with educating our new officers with how to handle situations that could blow up into a physical mess and people that are suicidal, the Trulio, app that you have, you're doing a great job and keep it up. I will miss reading them in my favorite ones.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Commissioner Sirleaf.
See you guys at Riverfest. Thanks for coming tonight.
Commissioner Lurch.
It was a lot of fun, National Night Out. But I have to tell you that, there's mostly kids lined up to dunk whoever was in the tank. And when I was sitting in the tank, most of the kids were pointing at the officer saying, I want to dunk him. So that just tells me that, our officers are making a really good connection with the youth in the township. And that's just an amazing thing and a very important thing. That the kids get to view the officers as not somebody to fear or somebody who's out to get them, that they're there to partner with them and help them grow and learn. So that was an amazing thing to see. I also finally made it to, unfortunately, the last summer concert at the township had. And kudos to our Parks Department for putting all of that together. It was an amazing turnout. The weather was great. There were an awful lot of people there. So just a kind of a precursor to Riverfest. So hope to see you all at Riverfest.
Thank you, Commissioner. Just for Chief Hoover and Officer Boyer and my colleagues, I know how much work I got so many good comments. Unfortunately, my job takes me across the Commonwealth. Many times I was unable to attend, but I got a tremendous amount of feedback about how wonderful it was. I know it just doesn't happen overnight, so thank everyone for picking up the slack for me, and hopefully we'll have a wonderful weekend at Riverfest. We'll see you all then.